Live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The one, the only, the unexpected thrill of a lifetime podcast. Hear ye, hear ye. Step right up. Step right in. Breaker 19, come in. We got cobwebs on the highway. Time to dust them off for the big show. Oh, yes. You know all the words to this intro. Welcome to episode 16. Our podcast is now a solid teenager. Fire up the candles, because I'm blowing them out. I'm your host, Dan Fisher, and we got a whole buffet worth of goodies for you today. For you and your family and your friends and everybody else who hasn't heard this podcast yet. We got Philly news, Philly food, as seen on FFN TV. FFN News, always a classic. What are you gonna do with all that entertainment? We got the beef. We got special Chihuahua news. That's different. We've got the album of the week, the movie of the week, and last but not least, views of a driver. We're serving up all kinds of stuff. We're throwing all the toppings on the pizza. We're making a quadruple decker burger of excitement. So get ready, because it's going to be great. All right. Like I said, welcome to the unexpected thrill of a lifetime, brought to you by the Evil Carousel. In Philly news today, this week, the cicadas are emerging this weekend. Giant swarms of them are flooding into the city and surrounding areas. Apparently, some foodies like to eat them. I think that's a little nutty. There are vaccine freebies throughout the city. Like, you could visit Evil Genius Brewery and get a free beer, or at some restaurants they have, little finger foods or appetizers or shit like that. So that might be fun. Restrictions for the coronavirus are set to end on June 11th. So that's a little exciting, getting back to a little bit of normalcy. Be careful out there. Don't get a job at Yard's Brewery if you're pregnant. Apparently there was a story in the news where a woman got pregnant and she was pushed out and sort of hazed. And if you're traveling out of Philadelphia, you're probably going to be on a flight to Florida. They said about many of the flights going out are going to Florida. And when I used to work as an Uber driver out of there, I used to pick people up doing that constantly. It was crazy. It was madness. Anyway, we are going to move on to the pizza tour. Now, this edition of the pizza tour is a place that I haven't tried yet, but I just became aware of it, and it seems fantastic, so I will follow up. It's called Sally Pizza, another one of those handmade, coal-fired type of pizzas. Eric Wareheim went there, posted on his Instagram, looked pretty good. But one place I did go was I made it back to Lorenzo's Pizza on South Street. $5 slice that's as big as your face. It's bigger than your face. And, so that's a really good place to go. I stand by what I said before. I give it, I think, 9 slices of pizza. So check that out if you're ever able to, because I'll tell you, man, it's pretty excellent. Thanks again for joining us. Episode 16. This is a big one. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Oh, but now we're going to cut it over to FFN News. But first, FFN News is brought to you by... We're doing a rehash of this classic award-winning ad from a few weeks ago. I'm going to read it again because maybe you haven't heard it before. The Pizza Hat. Pizza Hat is the first ever edible headpiece or unaltered garment that you can eat. Thinking of going out for a long walk in the sun with the intent to eventually party later? Well, look no further for your catered source of food, fun, and entertainment with the Pizza Hat. Pizza Hat comes in 3 great crusts: traditional, whole wheat, or cauliflower, and comes with a variety of fun toppings and sauces. Looking for a great companion to your Pizza Hat? Well, now there's the Pocket Salad Kit. The Pocket Salad Kit is the first ever build-your-own salad kit that fits right in your pocket. That's right, it's a whole kit that has the fit to stow right into your trousers or fanny pack. The Pocket Salad comes in an exciting assortment of flavors and themes, including Cobb, Spicy Fiesta, and Caesar. Looking for a companion for that salad and soup lunch getaway? Well, just add one of the Rock's rock and rolls. Usually the Rock can be found in the gym or on the movie screen, and he would love to advise to stay clear of the carbs, but sometimes you have an exception. A meal so exceptional it is only missing one essential ingredient. The Rock's Rock and Roll Self-Rockin' Oven Roll Production Kit. Just place the Rock's Rock and Roll mini oven container in the sun and watch the solar power bread making at its finest. Email at evilcarousel@gmail.com in the next hour to reserve your order for the whole set. You get the original Pizza Hat, the Pocket Salad Kit, and the Rock's Rock and Rolls Baking and Funtivity Set for only 3 payments of $19.99. Order today for a culinary experience culminated in the evil laboratories of the Evil Carousel, and is now a proud sponsor of the Unexpected Thrill of a Lifetime podcast and the FFN News broadcast. Well, boy, I don't know about you, but that sounds exciting. I'm excited, and I want to try one of those the Rock's Rock and Rolls. Don't you? And the Pocket Salad Kit? I mean, come on. This is stuff that even your grandmother didn't have. She wished she had this kind of shit. She was sitting through the Depression. She was looking out the window, and she goes, Man, I want a Pocket Salad Kit. With all of the news being called fake these days, we're bringing you the real fake news. It's FFN News. At FFN News, we're going to be talking a little bit of politics, some big tech, and cicadas. FFN News, Amazon. Amazon drivers are to start wearing body cameras to cut down on all the lost packages. Amazon will also shut off all other apps on your phone. So now you can use all those apps through the Amazon app. Now you only need one on your home screen. Do it all through Amazon. This show is not sponsored in part by Amazon. FFN News, Wildlife. The cicadas go back underground for another 17 years after they see what life and politics have devolved into. FFN News, TV shows. On the FFN News broadcast and the Evil Carousel in part, comes a new show called The Butterfly Whisperer. He scares them away when he whispers at them, just trying to be friends with them. Even a whisper can scare away a butterfly. FFN News, Trump. Donald Trump's home situation takes a downgrade as he moves to New Jersey after Mar-a-Lago closes. Not really sure why he made the move, but he's in Bedminster, and perhaps you'll want to go and visit him. And now, another exclusive. I'm back with our 46th president, Joe Biden, and I had some questions for him that I was going to ask him real quick, and he's going to give us his honest take, and we'll see what he says. Hey Joe, how you doing today? Okay. Now listen, Joe. We have had a escalation in the Middle East between the Palestinians and the what am I looking for here? What terminology? I'm completely drawing a blank. But you know what I'm saying. There's a conflict in the Middle East. Israel, the Palestinians. What is your take on that now that the fighting is ceased? Okay, all right. The infrastructure plan that you unveiled went down from 2.3 trillion to 1.7 trillion. What things did you end up cutting out to make it a smaller price tag? Okay, well, that's this week's questions. Thank you, Joe Biden. And one more feature on this segment is Dan Fisher for Senate. That's right. Now, as you remember, I announced some more of my campaign promises last week. We started the first week with 1 million trees in 1 million days and the Chihuahua Safety Action Task Force. Well, this week I am announcing 2 more campaign promises. The first is we are going to allow gambling in jails. That's right. You've already gambled your life away. Now gamble everything else, and even things you don't have, from inside the jail cell. It promotes camaraderie and fun and excitement, and it might be a way for those private prisons to make a little bit more money. My last campaign promise that I will unveil today is the music industry reform. Now, some people might think this is a joke. It's not a joke. Streaming services like Spotify won't even give their artists a cent per play, leading to a huge imbalance in the music industry where the producers and the people who are in the poppiest of poppiest realms get the most money. Demi Lovato. Always taking the spotlight and everything. Her news this week made me just close my eyes and go back to sleep. Well, thank you for listening to the FFN News for today. We're going to be moving it right along, you know, the way that we always do. And now I am going to, sort of do a part of the show that you've never heard before. Just kidding, it's the beef. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but we've got an extra smooth show for you today. I wheeled out the steamroller for this one just so that everything was nice and tight, nice and quick. Oh, that's the Red Bull of the day being snapped open. Oh, it's been fucking hot, man. Out there delivering packages, 93 degrees, whatever it was. But I'm an ever evolving and changing species. People look at me and they say, Dan, I don't know how you do what you do. I say, I don't either. But it's been fun. And I'll give you a high five if you want. Speaking of which, that brings us to Views of a Driver. Now, this week, not a particularly eventful story, but one time I picked up a passenger who had this to say, and I just couldn't stop sort of laughing about it in the way that this can't be true. It can't be true. But maybe it is true. This guy said that he had so many issues and health problems. This is no joke, unless he was lying. He said, and he started with, that he needs new eyes. I don't know if he meant getting glasses, but then he said he's getting divorced. He's getting new teeth next month. He has a crushed spine. He, a few years ago, had 2 inches cut off of his right shoulder, off of the top of his right shoulder. Not sure what that's about. Both knees are getting bad. He's getting 2 prosthetic knees, and I can't read my notes for the last part. Oh, he just recovered from a ruptured disc in his back, and and appendicitis. And there was one more in there that I couldn't remember, but this guy just kept going on and on about all these health problems. It's like, listen, I can only give so much empathy in this short car ride. I didn't know what to say. I laughed at first in a I can't believe that kind of way. But, it is what it is. I've done a lot of driving in the last few years. The road is an awful place. Philadelphia constantly gets ranked as one of the worst places ever to drive. And I gotta tell you, the roads are getting better. They're getting better. They're working on all the bridges. They're doing the infrastructure. Even the Ben Franklin's got, some tarps over it and some buckets catching the rainwater. But the people just drive so recklessly and so aggressively that it's just it's a constant problem. They're talking about renovating Roosevelt Boulevard in North Philly, and they're talking about changing some lanes to bike and people-only lanes, and then creating a path for cars that goes partially underground. I was like, geez, they're really trying to get, fleshing out all the ideas for this one. So here on the show, we like to do a different assortment of things. We do a segment once in a while called Chihuahua News, and I have some extra special Chihuahua news today. Our little friend Drake, featured in the Chihuahua Battle Song, is having a birthday this week. That's right. This Thursday, the 27th, our little man, Chihuahua Drake, is going to be 10 years old. I'm the chief who brought me into the house. Happy birthday, Drake. You're a good boy. Top dog of the house. Chihuahua, 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 Chihuahua. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna be blowing out the candles with him too. He's not very good at it, but we'll give it a shot. Oh man. Well, I'm going to move it right along now to the album and the movie of the week. Now, one thing that I'm proud of this week is I kind of intertwined both the movie and the album of the week. First, I'm going to go with the album. Now, if you know me, and chances are you do, I love The Doors. I do. The Doors are my favorite group. I love four-piece bands. I feel like with a four-piece band, there's no room to hide. You got four people equally contributing. You got Ray Manzarek on keyboard, organ, piano, and keyboard bass. John Densmore on drums. A fantastic drummer with influences in. He started out in marching band, but he's also into Latin beats and bossa nova, and just alternate styles of drumming. We got Robbie Krieger, a traditionally trained guitar player who is very fluent in fingerpicking and flamenco Spanish style. That mixed with the poetry and I'm just gonna say, the supernatural abilities of Jim Morrison make it for a crazy group and arrangement. And a lot of people don't know, but they spent about 2 years writing about like 3 albums worth of music and getting all the songs down perfect before they even went out live. I think that has to do with Jim's sort of stage fright, and at first, for the first couple months they were playing shows on the Sunset Strip. Jim wouldn't even face the crowd. So boy, I should have made the movie of the week the Doors movie, but I didn't. That's for another time. But anyway, the album is the self-titled intro album, The Doors. Now this one, you're going to crack this one open and you're going to find so many hits. It's really a classic. It's their original sound. I've got this one on vinyl and a first print in mono. So that's a pretty interesting piece. But you fire it up. It's got Break On Through with the bossa nova beat. I mean, this song is electric, and it's by Elektra Records. The keyboard solo, the screaming and stuff. There's Light My Fire, which was the literally the soundtrack to, what was it, 74 or something like that. You got the Whiskey Bar, which is the German drinking song that was changed around for that. You got the Crystal Ship, Soul Kitchen, 20th Century Fox, and can't forget the end. This is the end, beautiful friend. Anyway, which leads me to my next point. The movie of the week is... Do we have a drum roll? I would really enjoy a drum roll right now, but I don't think we do. So let's just give a round of applause for the movie of the week, which is Apocalypse Now. Kids, don't watch this one. This one's very graphic and bloody. Now, if you watch the Redux, Apocalypse Now is a fucking long movie. It's almost like 4 hours. There's a scene that they added there with a French encampment that, honestly, to this day, I still don't really understand. But it's fantastic. And the movie opens with the PTSD of Martin Sheen. And, he's removed from combat, and, he's sitting at home, and he's looking for something to do, and he's drinking and smoking, and he cut his hand on the mirror, and he's, in the background, they're playing The End, which was a really interesting choice. And, it just shows what that era was like. You're over in Vietnam, you're fighting, acid was first, making its way onto the scene, and you're a soldier over there who's getting a lifetime worth of trauma. You're dabbling with drugs and alcohol a little bit. It was and not to go real deep in the weeds on the Vietnam War, but what a lot of people don't understand is our military has its recruit and its forces and everything like that, but only about a third of I think I'm correct, only about a third of the military back then were active duty and like traditional soldiers. Because of the draft, about 2/3 of the army were just people, kind of off the street, kind of, from their factory job, or, these weren't people that seeked out being a soldier. But then, that combined with everything else, it just really created a flashpoint in history that I think is really interesting. And at times like that really create good art, good movies, good music, and all that. And Jim Morrison was a draft dodger. His dad was in the military, and he was just very against it. And there was that whole hippie movement and everything, and the hippie movement really embraced the psychedelic music era. So if you haven't really dove into the Doors, they're a weird sounding group. It's an acquired taste. The best things in life are an acquired taste. So, give it a shot. The first album is really a home run. I think as they go, their music gets a little bit more polarizing. But that being said, LA Woman was a great last record. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I said my favorite phrase anyway. Blah, blah, blah. So, this week's show is a little bit of a shorter one, but I want you to know that it was action-packed. I was running a little bit behind, recording this before work. You'll get this at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Spotify listeners might get it a little bit sooner, but give us a like. And as I always say, tell somebody about it. Maybe just repost it. Let it go into nowhere. And if anybody would like the official Evil Carousel poster, I've got a couple of those that I could send out if anybody wanted one. I know my buddy Alex Gardner's got one hanging on his fridge. I've got one too. There's a few still hanging up around University City. But all right, well, we've had our intro. We've had the Knights of the Round Table of Contents, Philly News, Philly Food, as seen on FFN TV, FFN News, The Beef, Chihuahua News. But yeah, let's give one more shout out to our buddy Drake. Happy birthday, bud. We'll be jamming and celebrating before long. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the show. Thanks again, as usual, for listening to The Unexpected Thrill of a Lifetime. There should be a new episode next week. I hope you enjoyed the Star Cast, where I rated all of the Star Wars movies in order. There was a little bit of a technical issue at first, and the list, of course, cut off the last three. So if you didn't get a chance to go back and listen, I would advise doing that. And if you want to celebrate Drake's birthday on Thursday, give the Chihuahua Battle song a listen and a like. We're up to 123 views. Wow. Maybe somewhere far in the future, maybe 10 years from now, we'll get to 300 views. And it'll be, pretty monumental. But, this isn't just a voice memo on your phone or anything like that. This is a show with a huge production value. We've got a team of writers, producers, sound people, makeup for some reason, thousands in marketing and all that. And it's just a really good experience, and it's a good way to, let my hair down and all that. Anyway, also thank you for listening, and have a good week. And now we're going to go out with our famous ending music here. People have gotten in touch with me. Artists, even Axl Rose got in touch, and he was saying, what is that ending song there? That's really, really quite catchy. But anyway, this is the end of